Hi, so as you can tell from the title of the video, I am here to tell you how everything happens for a reason has occurred and been shown in my own life, okay? I would say a good amount of people who are watching this might have come from my corporate to minimum wage video that just I made it on a whim, didn't expect to blow up, to the extent that it did. And I wanted to give like some disclaimers. Everything happens for a reason. There's always going to be exceptions, all right? Like, I do not say this for terrible things like crimes against humanity. I just don't think that that should be happening anytime. It does not happen for a reason. It should not be happening point blank period. Okay? So do not be taking things too literally. I don't want to hear, "Oh my god, but like this shouldn't be happening for a reason. Like this bad thing that okay, that I get it. I get it. Okay? So I'm trying to say there's an exception to everything, and now I will actually talk about what happened in my own life now that the disclaimers should have gotten out of the way. From that corporate to minimum wage video, I was talking about how I got laid off, and I also was supposed to go study abroad. Let me just do the timeline so that this isn't too confusing because these are all kind of interconnected with each other. So I was a college student, and during my sophomore year, second semester, I was supposed to be studying abroad at a Chinese university because I'm ethnically Chinese, so it would have been interesting, to go to school there and see what that's like. We can thank COVID for happening at that exact semester as a reason why I was not able to go. It was the primary reason why I was not able to go abroad. And do you want to hear how I reacted? Well, even if you didn't, I'm telling you now. So I cried so much when I found out that the semester was canceled that I literally threw up. I had not, like, like crying, S wording, throwing up, like, that's a phrase, right? I didn't expect to actually do it. So, yeah, because like before, I'm like a crybaby. I cry really easily, but to the point of yakking, that's like a whole nother level. So you know how much that impacted me, and nobody could tell me anything at that moment about everything happens for a reason. You're gonna be I would have been like, shut the up. Like, I would you would have been in big trouble if you were to tell me that at that time. Now I am telling my own self at that time that it genuinely did happen for a reason. And this is where the layoff comes in. So I hadn't gone on a semester abroad, right? I graduated from college. I, like a typical college grad, had a job, and I was gonna hopefully be working in that for some time. Little did I expect for it to last for less than a year before I got laid off, thanks to the company making some interesting choices with wanting to sell out to private equity. Hopefully, that's not too much tea. But yeah, because of the layoff, I even 1 month before it, I saw the signs. And I was like, you can't just let that happen. You should probably find something to do with your life, maybe even before you get laid off. And so I applied to the school that I was supposed to study abroad at. That didn't happen during my college times. And thankfully, I got in, and I'm pretty sure I had gotten in even before I got laid off. So I had already known, and that was honestly a big sigh of relief for me because I already knew what I was gonna do next with my life. I was gonna have a fun employed few months and then go study abroad. And I have to say that I'm very privileged that I was able to do this because not everybody can just get laid off and go on a semester abroad like I did. But because I had the resources that I took advantage of, therefore I was going to take advantage of them. And an example of like how I'm very lucky in this aspect was that another of my coworkers who got laid off had way more to lose than me. I was a stay-at-home daughter who just wanted that money so that I can buy my cute little things and my little sweet treats. She, on the other hand, apparently bought a house with her husband just recently and still needed to finish making the down payment. And has 2 kids. Yeah. So somebody definitely had more to lose than me. Um, Sorry, I'm not sorry. I burp all the time. Okay. Yeah. And because of the timing at which I went on the year abroad, because I could have gone when it was during my undergraduate years, right? But at that time, I did not know that I had a dream for wanting to do music. Because as much as I might have known at 20 years old, back when I was in college, that I loved music, there was no way I could imagine potentially even doing that as somewhat of a career. Like, I would have just laughed that off and been like, huh, just do your singing for fun, dude. Like, you're not gonna make it through. Like, that's how 20-year-old me would be talking to, I guess, me now. But I went to a seminar, and it was also during the time when I was in China abroad. And that seminar really went deeply into my brain chemistry and was like, if you're gonna do something with the rest of your life, have it be something that you love and enjoy. And I was like, dang, I think that music for the time being is not going to be paying my bills, but I have to do something about it. I can't just let that dream sit there and rot while I, sell my soul to a job or sell my soul to just something I don't want to sell my soul to. Um, and because of going on that seminar and being at the time that I've been in and going through the life experiences that I had experienced, like knowing how a company does not give a flying crap about you, that you should probably do something for yourself, all of these, the combination of just the timing and everything allowed me, like I said, to realize that music is what I want to do. And so, in case you have not noticed, like I already said, all of this is exactly the correct timing for allowing me to realize what I genuinely want to do with my life. And I think I said that like 5 times, so maybe I should stop beating the dead horse. And so this is probably the reason why this YouTube channel even exists, because otherwise I would have just been doing my typical like people things, right? Not imagining a dream in music, even though I currently am not exactly at the moment where I can just tour the world. But because I dream big, I know it's gonna happen. It's just when it's gonna happen. So yes, and just to add on, another part of this is that I uh, was looking for jobs this year because I really wanted to have some money so I didn't have to always be somewhat broke. And yeah. And so as a result, I went through like a whole 1 month recruitment timeline with this company, and I very much thought that I was going to get the job because, oh, sue me, my bad for thinking that I was going to get the job when the interviewers literally said that I did a great job and that they were probably going to choose me as the candidate they hire. My bad, my bad. And so as a result, I went on a vacation during that time and spent money like I had the job secured. I did not. And then came back with the we have proceeded to go with another candidate email. So that was great. Because of it, I made my corporate to minimum wage video. And to other people, it might not be that big of a deal, but that video of mine has reached 80K views. And considering how most of my other videos get like a few hundred at most, and some of them have reached maybe a little bit more than 1K because of the corporate to minimum wage video. And I would say that the majority of my current subscribers have also come from that. Uh, so I believe that that would not have happened had I not gotten the job, because I would not be making a video talking about going from corporate to minimum wage because that job was a corporate position. And in those minimum wage jobs, clearly, obviously, I'm not getting paid as like enough for ever wanting to move out. I'll find my way somehow. But in the time being, I'm learning a good amount from being in those jobs, and I feel like in these jobs you're just able to meet a bigger variety of people than maybe the corporate ones. And so you just never know who might walk in when I serve as a waitress, when I am working in a retail clothing store. What if one of these people has a record deal that they want me to sign and stuff? Or just like somebody who might just like allow me to go further into that music stuff, or any opportunity in which maybe I can earn more money. Like, that's what I'm trying to say, is that working these jobs it's not about like paying the bills at that point, because the money is like child's play. But I'm honestly staying in because I know that with my skill in talking to people, so yes, I'm tooting my own horn, I probably can get somewhere with that. So now I should probably move on to another part, which is kung fu, aka wushu. It is a martial art that has been a very big part of my life. I think I was in 5th grade when I persuaded my parents to allow me to start doing kung fu. And then I have to thank my dad for actually forcing me to take the step of actually going to my very first class, because like little kids, and even nowadays, right, like at my current age, I will speak very big words and be like, oh, I'm gonna totally go do this, I'm gonna totally go do that. And then came the day of actual kung fu class, I was like, Dad, all of a sudden, I feel like I should just stay home. Okay? This is too much. I am scared. And then he was just like, dude, just try it out. And I went, and I loved it so much that I was like, dang, this is so fun. I would love to continue. But then I got back an interesting sixth grade report card, which caused my parents to be like, yeah, you need to quit. Boy, was I sad. So I didn't even know what to do at that time. Like, the whole reason why I wanted to do kung fu at my age at that time was because I wanted to be cool. I was a dancer since I was 3 to 4 years old, and at those dance showcases, the kung fu kids would always be a guest performer at our show, and they would always be doing these amazing moves like the butterfly, right? Not sitting down butterfly, like kung fu butterfly. You can search that up if you're curious. And I really wanted to be able to do that, and I had not been able to do that before I was able to quit, so I was super sad. And so as a result, I was like, you need to do better so that you can go back to class. And so as I went through one showcase of watching them doing kung fu without me being included, aka making me really sad, I decided to beg my parents in seventh grade to let me go back to classes. I'm so glad I begged them, and I'm very thankful that they actually listened to me. And I think that they could tell that there was a passion there, right? So they took me back to class, and ever since then, at my big age of 25, I am still doing it. And it has been such a big thing in my life. And had 13-year-old me not had the ambition to continue Kung Fu again, I would have missed out on so many opportunities in my life. I would have missed out on stuff that I could put on my college applications. I would have missed out on super interesting people that I met throughout my time in these competitions, and just like, in my classes, and just people that I've trained with. So yeah, this has just become a huge part of my life, and because of it, I don't need to force myself to go to the gym, because it gets me all the exercise that I honestly, genuinely think I need. And also, thanks to it, I forced myself to go to a competition that is this upcoming week, which is crazy to think about. Which means that my content might also be behind. We'll see. And last but not least, this story is definitely not as deep as any of the other ones, but I was bullied by this man named Matthew. If he's watching this video, which I don't think he will, but he bullied me for smelling too bad. And the smelling bad was because I was using coconut oil to grow my hair. And he literally straight up said to me, I can't deal with you sitting next to me because you smell like a bucket of grease. And then he would like move his desk like inches away from me, and it was like straight up bullying, because he would also egg me on, like when it was before class was like dismissed and stuff. He was like, oh, Michelle, da, 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 da. And then like when I told him to shut up, he was like, oh my god, Michelle told me to shut up. It's just like that typical elementary school bullying. But yeah, Matthew, I will never forget you for making my sixth grade time a living HE double hockey stick. And I do not forgive you. I'm petty. And okay, well, I guess like I don't know if I could use the phrase like I forgive but I do not forget, because like obviously I'm pretty much like over it now, but like sometimes I think about it and I'm just like, dang, the fact that he did all of this and then got away with it, that's crazy. But because of his bullying, I decided that I wanted to smell good. And now, because of my own love for smelling good, I have a big A** perfume collection, fragrance mist collection, and everywhere I go, I always make sure that I smell good, not because I want to not be bullied for smelling bad, although obviously I just never want to smell bad in general. But nowadays I get complimented on how good I smell pretty often by people, and it's just like, dang, if I had not gone through all that character development, I don't know if I would have necessarily been that enthusiastic about smelling good. And just like fragrances, mists, and perfumes just make me so happy. So I guess at the end of the day, it did really end up being a win for me. But Matthew, do not pat yourself on the back. You did absolutely nothing helpful. This is just how I ended up coping. So no thanks to you, but I was able to, develop a love for smelling good and have another passion in my life. So I think that there was a lot of random stuttering, and this video was definitely not the most organized, but I think I made my point pretty clear about how everything happens for a reason, and I just hope that you can also apply this to your own life. But yeah, I guess all you can do is expect this genuine, going all over the place kind of video coming from me, because that's what my style is. So thank you so much for listening to this crazy ramble session. And I just hope that you can be a little bit inspired, if anything, by this. So thank you so much. Goodbye.